and preparation combined. The road been right here all this time, but you gotta look with more than your eyes. And the small axe Jesse Ryle representing for Ijahstars mindset, rich forever.
what your religion is about that you have.
Ethiopia. Oh, my religion is freedom, and we are also defending redemption, well, kingdom.
Can you describe to me what your religion is about that you have here?
Oh, my religion is freedom, redemption, repatriation, do our one violent victory, that Ethiopia, that Africa, that Jerusalem, it's in that Sababa, Africa our unit, we are contact, it's in Ethiopia, head, crown head, black crown head, and we are also defending Africa, nation well kingdom, nation well government, and you show why crown head, black crown head, Zion, heavenly children, Israelites, the black house of Israelites, of Ethiopia, royal sons and daughters, with New Jerusalem, shall rise up to them in this last day of our Lord Ijahstars. Selassie, Rastafari, Fuljoy, Rastafari, So, and this thing continues too long, Why can I do, So, try to come to see, There's nothing to say one, and who I want, as one, So, we say, quit down, That's not right. This one come and do it. This one pay to do a part, They don't pay me nothing. The salvation is free. We earn money, we earn prize, This is free to work free, That's not right. So, it's in the seabed and all those in Jamaica and all those are the United Nations. I am a whole representative. I am champion for human rights in this country, in Jamaica, and physically, in this world. And international to the United Nations seabed, Africa in Jamaica, I am a man who stands in international law rights, to human justice, human equality, to the world of equality. They belong to the black Christ. And that's not how that works when there is no equality except Christ himself. And when Christ comes back, in the new kingdom, he is here with us now, because he is ruling now. Not the rule I am people who have a free justice here, but to the evil world, over the world, we rule and we bring back the evil back to our attention. I and I could get out of themselves, out of them amongst them, and getting ourselves or in our black world, nationwide kingdom, more side. Rastafari. They come on with no. You don't watch the come on because I purely not pluralism.
You don't watch the
No, because it's like colonial and pluralism, because that is Britain.
So the economy, what happens outside there, doesn't really matter.
No, it don't matter. It's nothing, Because the nation world kingdom is something, because we are a nation of a people.
So you consider your world a nation in itself?
Well, sure, and that is naturality.
Well, how do you exist then?
Oh, my existence, I say, it's a few bloom, and I just live out a few bloom. We are still, we are live. You don't make no way worry, because Africa is worried. Africa, we see Africa, we talk Africa, we see Africa, we do everything Africa. Africa is our one bird.
So, you think your religion is one that came here when slavery came here from Africa?
Oh, sure. My creation was. I was. So I could remember creation birth to everyone. I call nation born to everyone.
Are you in contact with any African people of your same religion?
Oh, I don't contact definitely, I contact, But my word wake up all. Children was I and I was them. So what I send and tell them, and what they hear from my advice, then they hearken unto that is just right, The black man have a right. The white world has no right. The white world take away the black man's right and use it. And we work him as a slave. So we say we come and take back the white man's right and give back the black man, because the black man worldwide. And he knows that himself too, the white world knows that himself. And when I had to come and back a ship, we couldn't help him.
Do you have plans to grow, get bigger, get more members in?
Much too. I have a plan to get more, and a plan to get 7 miles of black salt on the water there to go home. But I won't take no part in Jamaica no more, and the moment that man says season there. I don't want.
You still want to go back to Africa?
Almost natural. Then you couldn't stop me. That's judgment. Huh? So I would say hold me in Jamaica, then I fall. You couldn't hold the princess, right? You hold me to a moment I know you couldn't hold me for. You couldn't hold me for the reality of all times.
Can you explain to me, the setup, the gentlemen are called Prince, and, the whole, how the church is set up, right?
Oh, you see, come up with this now, 2 princes, and you couldn't get a prince, they have a king. And so they don't cry with you for a king, and I say that for a ruler, and we all is the king, and we all were the prince, and also empress and the princess and goddess. So that's why this thing come, because the first God was a king, the black God of this world. He was a king, and we are the prince and princess, Father God and Goddess, Father Lord. But he was a God and he was a king. So we are his children. So we must be a prince and we must be a goddess,
Okay. Thank you.
But I don't want to come to the right. Where does the right, Where am I? Don't make up the night. I won't teach you or tell anything about the wild man of gold. Because if I tell you that, I don't tell you to yourself. I don't teach you around. When I teach about yourself now, I say about your God. Because black man will have a God. Because no one can create yourself, you create yourself.
Oh, you don't think one God created everybody?
One man, first.
Oh, I see. Oh, you think one man created both black and white, but
are capable of giving such men to the world if forced into a corner to think. We are a peace-loving people. We love humanity. We love the white race, not for social fellowship, but in the common brotherhood that God intended we should live. What satisfaction can anyone get in being happy and see his brother wallowing in dirt, filth, and disease? How can men feel happy living in luxuries when others are living in disease? And then when someone tries to help the other out of the disease, the subtle culprit talks about disloyalty. My greatest desire is to see all humanity happy, whether white, yellow, or black, because I know God made this wonderful world for all mankind. The black men of Carthage, the black men of Ethiopia, the black men of Egypt, of Timbuktu and Alexandria gave the light of civilization to the world. Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands unto God, and princes shall come out of Egypt. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. The race that leads another is always a race of masters, and the race that is led will always remain a race of slaves. They have given leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. We have decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. The great scholars, after passing through our schools, their colleges, their universities, have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it, Assyria did it, France under Napoleon did it, Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it, Great Britain under William Pitt Earl of Chatham did it, America under George Washington did it, Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you will die. You race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good-for-nothings. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other races have done, what other nations have done, then you had better die. Can we do it? We can do it. We shall do it. We have prayed to God for the vision and for leadership, and He Himself is now our leader, and He has given us a universal vision, a vision that will not limit our possibilities to America, a vision that will not limit our possibilities to the West Indies, but a vision that says there must be a free and redeemed Africa. If we must solve this American problem, if we must solve the West Indian problem, we shall solve it only for the glory of a great empire. We shall solve it only for the glory of a great dominion, a great republic upon which the sun will never set. Whatsoever man has done, man must do. And methinks looking into your eyes, I see great warriors rising up in the cause of African freedom. Methinks I see in the eyes of some of you men a Brutus reading in his tent at Philippi, a Richard Coeur de Leon bearing down on the galleons of Spain, and Napoleon storming the bridge of Lodi. Yea, men looking into your eyes, methinks I see a crown prince storming the forts at Verdun. Yea, more a Marshal Joffrey marching before the French artillery to win at the Marne, everlasting glory for France. And in the eyes of some of you women, I see a Florence Nightingale rising up to do service, not in the Crimean battlefield, but the battlefields of Africa, leading the hundreds and thousands of Black Cross nurses, following the millions of African legions who shall march out to do battle for the everlasting glory of Africa. I see a Joan of Arc, not the white woman of France, but a black woman of Africa, snatch up the flag of the red, the black, and the green, and say to 400 black men, follow me. Shall we make it? By the Almighty in the eternal heavens we have pledged to make it. Give us a standard bearer of Christ, let him lead and we will follow. Christ the crucified, Christ the despised, we appeal to you from the great memories of the past. We appeal to you for help, for succor, and for leadership. When you endeavor to carry your burden up the heights of Calvary, when white men scorned you, when white men spurned you, when white men spat upon you, when white men pierced your side out of which blood and water gushed forth, it was a black man in the name of Simon the Syrian who took the cross and bore it on the heights of Calvary. So now, when we are climbing our Calvary, the burden being heavy, we ask that you help us on up the journey of the heights. Surely we shall not turn back. The cause is grand, the cause is glorious. Sail on, O mighty ship of state, sail on. We shall not stop now. We shall sail on until the red, the black, and the green is perched upon the hilltops of Africa. Classes, nations, and races which have been quite quiet for over 4 centuries, and who has been the hewer of wood and drawers of water for other men, who has merely borne abuse, insult, and humiliation for many generations, whose patience, docility, and forbearance can only be compared to the prophet Job, has likewise lifted his bowed head and raised it up to God's skies and cried out, I am a man, and demand a man's chance and a man's treatment in the world. Black people had always been oppressed because of our race. We should therefore strive to put our own racial self-interest first in everything we do. We should support our own businessmen, professionals, writers, athletes, and so on, provided that these persons also have their people's interest at heart. Black people should see beauty in their own kind and not try to bleach their skins or otherwise look like what we're not. In the days of slavery, miscegenation, or race mixture had occurred because the African woman had no protection from the slave master. So there is now no need for black people to themselves freely continue a practice that smacks so much of slavery. Our critics say that the race problem will be solved.
Rock them and crack them. You're in tune to the mindset. Let the action speak. Do something that's timeless. Rock them and crack them. Jabari representing Ijahstars.
This is the mindset. This and every Wednesday. Hey, tune into the mindset. Rastafari design it. Reggae music, it's so island. When you listen them, I show you not a eye shirt. Hey, tune into the mindset. We will Baba, yeah. This is the mindset. This and every Wednesday. Hey, tune into the mindset. Rastafari design it. Reggae music, it's so island. When you listen them, I show you not a eye shirt. Hey, tune into the mindset. Rastafari design it. And reggae music, it's so island. And when you listen to the show, you know the vibe say. We have to play the music for the people, chill them soul. Music is the only thing that they control. Meditate your mind and make the blessing unfold. Rastafari, mother king hero. Interview setting at the black rock plug. Reggae music chanting like the Wailers and Baba. Sing the music positive like Jacob and Peter. Listen that mindset beat ya. Tune into the mindset. Rastafari design it. And reggae music it's so island. When you listen to them I show you not a eye shake. Why? Tune into the mindset. Rastafari design it. And reggae music it's so island. And when you listen to that show you every vibe set. Hey, tune into the mindset. Rastafari design it. And reggae music it's so island. And when you listen to that show you not a eye shake. Why? Guitar play and the kettle my beat. I just start come feel like the street. Him say climb me know you can do it. And so me do it, me and do it. So so highly. When you listen to that show, you every vibe set. Why? I tune into the mindset. This and every Wednesday. Mindset. Incline from the vine. Mindset. Mindset.
Me I tell you, mindset. Me I tell you, mindset.
Well, you don't know this is small chess. Tune into Ijahstars and the mindset. My people. Alright, yes, Ijahstars. You tune into Ijahstars and the mindset radio show, yes. Oh gosh, him talk about a lot of things and the radio show, yes. To motivate the youths, give them a conscious mind to face the world of tomorrow, yes. Ijahstars teach them the culture and the history, and give them the roots to live amongst one another. Hey, I get this feeling everything gonna be alright. I get this feeling everything gonna be alright. Hey, I get this feeling everything gonna be alright. Ijahstars, I get this feeling everything gonna be alright. Alright, everything gonna be alright on the Mindset Radio Show. Hey, a long time Ijahstars teach, and now you got to take heed, yes. And the Mindset Show, Ijahstars teach. Oh yeah, set your mind on the prize. Open up your eyes, take the words of Ijahstars. Yes, yes, you got to listen to the words. We come to teach you right. We come to teach you good. We come to teach you justice. We come to teach you good.
Jags representing the man, Ijahstars, Black Rock family. I know I represent Rastafari whenever time you see us. Well, hear me now, boy. Yeah. Wow. Jah, you see how hard man a hustle the streets, it makes you ends me. Me got no family to feed, and when me knees them weak, oh, Ijahstars never give up, because him born fi do it. Whoa, him born fi do it. Well, hear me out. When the struggle get rough, Ijahstars not give up, all when it tough. Powers of the Most High, me know a him full up wake up. Rising at the morning sun, troops me honey and said, darling, come. Touch the street, hustling, I do it, Jah give me peace, just bless me with one little piece. Me hear me. Whoa, fire, baby. Fire, baby. Hey, Jah, you see. Oh, hard Ijahstars have to hustle fi make few ends meet. Him got him family to feed, all when knees get weak. Black Rock family never give up, because them born fi do it. Ha! Them born fi do it. Well, hear me out. Reach victory. Ijahstars, we have to reach victory. Dirty pagan, them can't trick we. None of them can't fix we. Jah know there is a reward for every trying man who walk Jah land. Let me sing this song. Jah, you see, oh gosh, oh hard man a hustle fi make few ends meet. Me got my family to feed. All when we needs get weak. Ijahstars never give up, cause him born fi do it. Me say we born fi do it. Black Rock family, touch the road with hard work and meditation. Pray to Jah fi highly bless up fi we nation. Have the kush round ya so fi seal me meditation. And the nation need more unification. Step on the farm, now leave me spray pan. Okra me call money eat a buy me Ray-Ban. And me picnic one lunch when in a grade one. Who na work and sit down and wait for things them a worship Satan. Ijahstars and Black Rock family.
Mindset. Capital of Kingston. Mindset. Kingston, Jamaica. In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Mindset. In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Mindset. In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Mindset. In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Where we at? In the capital of Kingston. Ijahstars from Black Rock Radio and get shelled down. Circle over London and we end up over Belgium. Running up the place right now we hotter than hell ground. So me know Ijahstars them can't bring down. Work for me money, yes I saw me get me income. Glad me did I listen to me granny and me swing some. So me search hard for me knowledge and me wisdom. Ijahstars I tell the youth them fi put down the big gun. Knowing on myself so me no office in no blood run. The youth them in the street just come together and just have fun. Black Rock Radio Station a lock down all of London. For the youths them really got to make a change. The youths them in the streets a wipe your glasses make a change. I but fire tell them we live in Kushite days. And out in the world you know why England now we place. In the capital of Kingston. Kill the music rocky. Where we there? In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Where we there? In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Where we there? In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Kingston, under the sun, what a city. Sunday morning, ball game a fi kick it. Black Rock a playing and me as me now stippy. So me tune in, see Ijahstars with a fluffy kitty. Herbs to me brain so you know me got a spliffy. Push the positive vibes and me nah go pity. Remember Mr. Wacky used to keep it jiggy. Now I ding off the key for the dancing city. So we circle all around and then we lock down all the place. Remember Ijahstars and him no cuss and him no chase. Young while Apache on the talk of found a blaze. And anywhere we go girls I say X so you're so change. Rima thugs them but me say for up to date. And Anna down to London town the thugs them never shake. The Rasta them a upload the whole of meditation. Black Rock on me station. In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Where we there? In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Where we there? In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston. Where we there? In the capital of Kingston. In the capital of Kingston.
Ijahstars, young while I patch the matador. Anytime me keep me score. Boom, 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 a girl a knock on me door. The amount a girl me touch me say it flash past 4. Me flash past on the R6, them can't figure this. And the young while I patch again and start nothing no practice. Me straighter than a arrow, no me never yet borrow. Me own a case me beat and no me never yet borrow. Watch ya, protect your life in the street. You live to see a better tomorrow.
Ijahstars see them a come but him not run. Like the wall of Jericho, I saw Babylon, them a go fall down. Hey Ijahstars, yes them I see, yeah, oh. Like the wall of China, I saw we stand firm. Dirty Babylon a get burned. Black Rock see them a come, but we nah run. Whoa, hey. In at the street, me say nothing nah go on. Youths nah have no food to eat. True, no money no in a palm. The Bible said the Antichrist come in a many shapes and form. Them say farm with the farm, while them a farm full. Black Rock them say them intellect.
youths not have no paycheck. Them say work out enough, me see it and throat them a make. Them sick with rabies, them deserve to see do it. I just start chant the one ya. The older them a fret, the fulfilling of prophecies of old. For make it in a life, man a sell them soul. Homo eats him get so popular, them brave and bold. Ja if I did have the legal rights, them get them head full. To the pressures of the system of the youths, them hard cold. Prostitution, them a woman, but they running down and perishing. That's why we have so much baby born in homeless. I not turn a blind eye, I a protest. Mindset a shut down Babylon. Them a shut down Babylon. Black rock make we burn down Babylon, yeah. Just a shut down Babylon. Just that, them a war over Isla and we Ijahstars see them a come but him not run. Like the wall of Jericho, I saw Babylon, them a go fall down. Hey, Ijahstars, yes, them I see, yeah, oh. Like the wall of China, I saw we stand firm. Dirty Babylon a get burned. Black rocks see them a come, but we nah run. Whoa, hey. In at the street, me say nothing nah go on. Youths nah have no food to eat. True, no money no in a palm. The Bible said the Antichrist come in a many shapes and form. Them so farm with the farm.
Mindset.
Full black rock, them say them intellect.
Blessed love, warm welcome, you know.
Them say work out enough, me see it and throat them a make. Them sick with
manners and respect.
surface it of it.
Pleasant good evening.
The one ya, the older them a fret, the fulfilling of prophecies of old. For make it in a life, man a sell them soul. Homo,
Yeah man, we're there.
pillar them brave and bold. Ja if I did
Late but we're sure.
get them head full. To the pressures of the system of the youths, them hard cold.
Please spread the word, you know.
They running down and perishing. That's why we
One more day above ground.
born homeless. I not turn a blind eye, I a protest. Mindset a shot.
What we are do?
A
Yeah, chant down Babylon.
shot down Babylon.
Pleasant good evening.
Black rock make we burn down Babylon, yeah.
Yeah man.
Just a shot down Babylon. Just a them a war over Isla and nuclear weapons, but for black people no reparation, them no plan.
What the man say?
Over boundaries, them no see a judge a lad. From humanity, them want total separation.
What?
Freedom of speech, them want to isolate man.
May I tell you?
Other, me swear them a beat up them lip. Them serious, them start implanted the chip. Them say who no get it, I go die or turn beaten stick. From the beginning, a mindset.
You know how long them youth here say them something?
I grow him locks and call himself Rasta. Them say who him a thief, the bobo man.
Serious thing the youth are talk about, man.
Equal rights and justice, ya jobless, I no look this. Them heartless, cruel and worthless.
May I tell you?
The people them and leave the whole place open.
Them not normal.
In a bed while judge children are fear stress. Mindset burn them down, me know them not go love this.
Them not go love it.
I shut down Babylon.
But we have put the fire upon them nonetheless.
Shut down Babylon. Black rock make we burn down Babylon, yeah. Aya, oh aya, oh aya, oh aya, yeah. I know it's more fuck representing, you know. Yeah. You might say I just
May I tell you them a farm full. And best stop farming full.
I tell you more fire in a room. Hot.
Ijahstars, yeah. It's the defender, oh, yeah. Blazing the fire, it's way, yeah. J, boy, yeah. Ijahstars, yeah. Selassie, you lost all. And open the way for I and I, saying, Sure, say man a warrior. Ijahstars him a warrior. Defend truths and rights. Blazing the fire upon the wicked, them alright. Man a warrior. Ijahstars him a warrior. Defend truths and rights. Yeah, Selassie the Almighty. 10,000 rise against us, they will stumble and fall. All their evil and deceitful lies, we see through it all. And the more they apply the pressure, I just start standing tall. From them trying to test Rasta children, head a figure roll like ball. It's about time, Ijahstars time.
Fire, baby.
Some boys step aside, stop acting blind. Can't you see it's Rasta control the time? Stop go the wrong way. To disrespect Ijahstars will be danger. Stick to the right way. Don't be a stranger. Ijahstars him a warrior. Selassie I warrior. Defend truths and rights. Gosh, blaze in the fire. Yow, say man a warrior. Ijahstars him a warrior. Defend truths and rights. Fighting for the people life. They try all sorts of things to pull you down, but nothing them can do to take away your crown. Keep on hailing Jah, my black brother. Ijahstars, Rasta live forever. Cha. Come on a warrior. Ijahstars him a warrior. Defend truths and rights. Blazing the fire upon the wicked, them alright. Ha! Man a warrior. Ijahstars you a warrior. Defend truths and rights. Rights. Yeah. Selassie. Give thanks to the black Christ in flesh, Prince Emmanuel. Give thanks to the King of Kings, oh yeah. Give thanks to the black prophet, Marcus Mosiah. Give thanks for the mother of Irish and Queen Omega, yeah. So we are warrior. Holy Emmanuel I Selassie, yeah. Rastafari is the Almighty. Ijahstars not a building. Blazing the fire hot upon them, yeah. Truths and rights, equal rights and justice. Yeah, man, for the people, them saying it's the defender. Ijahstars, big up yourself. Selassie, please.
Free your mind, free your mind. Mindset, free your mind, free your mind. Hey, not everything that glitter is gold. Not everything that's white is snow. On the mindset, Ijahstars, let them know, let them know, let them know. Oh, words from the wise, Ijahstars, we will never lie. Stand tall, we will never die, will forever shine. Ijahstars, shine like the star in the sky. Some hate, some love, some want us to die. Ijahstars, Black Rock Radio, KRE representing. It's the mindset, free your mind, free your mind. Mindset, free your mind, free your mind. Everything that glitter is gold. Everything that's white is snow. On the mindset, Ijahstars, let them know, let them know, let them know. Oh,
Words from the wise.
Ijahstars, we will never lie.
No lie to the thing. Clean hands and pure hearts, Zin. Lying lips is an abomination. Yes, so I want to greet the item officially in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I and also Empress Menen I, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I Jah, Rastafari. Warm welcome, beautiful viewers and subscribers, brothers and sisters. One more day we're above ground, and it's great to be here. Is it me say? Yeah, man, great to have the item here also. Alright, yeah, man, give thanks to the item presence and the item patient listening and rap attention since the program start up until this point. Alright, yeah, man, so give thanks again. We have a special guest on the program today, seeing all the way on the other side of the world, but as the item can see the title of program, Zine, we have the King of SKA, no other than Prince Buster, the son of Prince Buster. We'll be speaking with him probably in the next 10 minutes from now. Zine, he goes by the name of Sultan Holly. Alright. I know some of the eye might be I know most of the eye them supposed to be familiar with Prince Buster. Yeah. And I'm sure most of the eye them is familiar with his son, Sultan Holly. Zine. So we have him on the program today, and we'll be speaking about of course his father, and also his journey and getting his perspective on a lot of things, reggae wise also, and also as as a nation of people. I think religion or the way of life will be looking also into that side of things. So it's gonna be a quite interesting reasoning. So I urge the item, please share and spread the word. You know what I mean? Let some other people know that we have the legendary Prince Buster son, Zine, the king of ska. Just like how you have the king of reggae, Bob Marley, and you have him film youths, them and thing. Yeah. And royalty, reggae royalty, a lot of ones would say they are. This virgin here is ska royalty. Zine, and we know the history of ska transitioning into rocksteady and reggae. Some people said it went into reggae. Wherein I have a total different perspective and that still. So it's gonna be a quite interesting reasoning, I must say. Yes, me. So please spread the word, honorable family. We are gonna link up with the Virgin in a moment from now. I'm quite surprised the amount of people that is on this live. Them say if you complain, and I'm not someone who complain. I'm not a complaining. I'm not a baby, but you have to speak out against injustice. When you see these things are taking place, because we can't understand how a platform like this have over 20,000 subscribers. Zina, you only have 4 people on the live. I don't get it. I really, it's mind-boggling, serious. You know, I don't understand what is going on. It don't make sense. It doesn't add up. Really doesn't add up. I know I probably don't come live all the time, I say, but subscribers is there. So, you know, I don't know. Probably it's not some type of mix up, or even though I don't delve into them type of things there, but you know, some people might deem some things as a mix up when it's probably controversial still. The end of the day, not mix up, but you know. So I guess what today one of them day that were the things not really controversial, but I don't know. It look away. It really look away. You know what I mean? It made the platform look like it's underperforming. You know, underperforming, and if you're underperforming, then you're underachieving. You know, simple as that. Yeah. So I don't know. You know, the gatekeepers of these platforms, when them see that, you know, you're for the people, you know, and you know you're for the people who is not into the nonsense. You know what I mean? We're not into the nonsense, and because of we're not into the nonsense, you know, we're labeled as, you know, some black lions, you know, which we are. You know, we are. I'm not a black sheep. I'm a black lion. So, you know, when you have some ones who really stand up for, you know, some serious things, you know, when it comes to equal rights and, you know, justice and morality, international morality, you know, when it comes to those things, and we're defending them and we're standing up for them, I guess these type of platforms, you know, really want to highlight those type of things, and then again to we not intend to sell out, and no one have approached me anyway. You see me? But I'm just saying, you know, before anyone try to, I guess them probably know already, so, you know, them will do anything for really hold down this platform. Yeah, we've been off the scene for over a strong, you know, one strong, you know, them say them banned me for 7 days. Why, I don't know. Interesting though. Interesting. Them strike the channel and say them banned me for 7 days. You know, I didn't even publish the video. Didn't even publish. You know, the them never even see the video. But them decide say, boy, I'm upload it and them going to strike the channel for it. And it never even published. So all these things, you know what I mean, observing and paying attention, because that have never happened before. And you know, the platform has gotten strike before, but you know, I've never experienced that. But you know, whatever was being said was quite interesting. I haven't published any of those videos yet. They are all on the platform, and there's some interesting reasoning, but I haven't published any of them yet. But probably by tomorrow or probably by the Sabbath, we're gonna premiere one of them. We're gonna premiere one of those videos. Zin, and it's the Honorable Priest Imani from the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. He was the honorable priest that I was interviewing, and I uploaded these edited version of the interview. So we're going to premiere one of them on the Sabbath. It's very interesting reasoning, you know what I mean? Very interesting. And if I see a lot of ones were saying that, they want more pre-Imani, so we have a lot more pre-Imani for the item. See, a lot more. See, so look out. See, look out. We have a lot more pre-Imani, and we have a whole heap more things for forward. Seriously, a whole heap of things. Because I remember we went to Africa. And we have a lot of interviews that we publish a few of them recently, and we have more for publish. So we have a work cut out. See? So anyone feels say boy them a stop Ijahstars the mindset, them better think again, That's all I can really say. Because we're fully harmed all the time. All the time. Even though when we not publish some certain things or we not publish a video, there's always things to publish. But we're not going to be regular, Yeah, we're not going to be regular. And what we're putting out there, as I said, it have to be of substance, what I mean? We not just feed the item with anything. You see, Bold Star, Natty Reed, Empress Judah, Samuel Anderson, Empress Brandy, everyone were there, man. Manners and respect. Zane, Honorable Priest Imani, Honorable Priest Guidance. See, bless up the item himself. I see the item. Alright. Alright, let me share something with the item before we link up with our honorable guests. I just want to share a little poem that I did recently. I was playing around. You see me? Really playing around. Trust me. Was really playing around. Nothing serious. You see me? And I share it, and some ones like it. They said it sound okay and things. So at the start I would just share it with the item. You know what I mean? I put it on the platform already. I don't know how much people really see it. But I'm gonna share it again for the item, alright? If the item haven't hear it yet. Alright, so here goes. It's titled Rise. See it? Time will rise. Time will open up our third eyes. Full time will start to realize that all this time them is telling us one bag of lies, telling us of a God in the sky that for you and I he die. Gentle Jesus, so meek and mild. These things they taught us from we were a child. False indoctrinating the innocent mind. Mind control is the signs of the time. Android, cyborg, AI, all these things combined. This might sound like a rhyme, but evidence reality is under no disguise. Time will rise. Time will rise. Time will open up our third eyes. Full time will start to realize that all this time them is telling us one bag of lies, telling us of a God in the sky that for you and I he die. Gentle Jesus, so meek and mild. These things they taught us from we were a child. False indoctrinating the innocent mind. Mind control is the signs of the time. Android, cyborg, AI, all these things combined. This might sound like a rhyme, but evidence reality is under no disguise. Time will rise. A time will rise. Time will open up our third eyes. Full time will start to realize that all this time them is telling us one bag of lies, telling us of a God in the sky that for you and I he die. Gentle Jesus, so meek and mild. These things they taught us from we were a child. False indoctrinating the innocent mind. Mind control is the signs of the time. Android, cyborg, AI, all these things combine. This might sound like a rhyme, but evidence reality is under no disguise. Time will rise. Time will rise. May I tell you? Yeah, I like that little poem there still. I don't know about the item, but I like it, so I just share it with the item. Alright? Yes, honorable family. So, we are going to link up with the family. Zane? Yeah, we are going to link up with the family on the other side of the world. And, yeah, bring him on the platform here. Alright? So, yeah. As we say, a whole over things are going. Then, whole little things we say are going, but you know, we there said we and we just observe. You know what I mean? We just observing. You see it? Yeah, we just observe, but we give thanks to everyone who there with us. You know what I mean? And you know, always try to be here when the item can. You know, we give thanks. You see me? All right.
Na 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 na. There is no place to rest our heads in the sky. The crucial times. Na 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 na. The poor man no have no place to rest his head in the sky. The crucial times. Na 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 na. Got to survive. Our meditation is still quite hustle, try to juggle. But everywhere we turn, and we look, most of
just hold the line, family.
this system I fight with. Some judge before them get to know way. A little is so much for the poorly. Ever try them best to achieve, but there is no place to rest our heads in the sky. The crucial time. Na 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 na. The poor man no have no place to rest his head in the sky. The crucial time. Na 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 na. So we take it to Jaja. Alone, alone, I keep us carrying on. Jaja, that keep us standing strong. I can see it in their eyes. Yo, I see the hunger in the children's faces. But the Almighty lives and reigns. Put all your trust in the living King. Some can't rest at home, see how them afflicted. Use them fighting youths over anything, oh yeah. Righteousness must be manifested. All them Johnny exalted, but there is no place to rest our heads in the sky. The crucial time. Na 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 na. The poor you don't have no place to rest his head in the sky. The crucial time. Na 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 na. Oi.
Seller. Poor man have no place to rest his head in this time. Crucial time. See? Yeah, crucial time on the program also. I think it's time to introduce our special guest and the platform today. We have no other than the son of the king of SKA, Prince Buster, son, Sultan Holly. Blessed love, my Lord.
Peace and shalom and scarate. Thank you for having me.
Warm welcome to the program, Honorable. Great to have the eye.
Scale thanks in all respect and aspect, and of course, shalom to all the international audience and the viewers. Shalom and greetings again. Thank you for having me on your program.
Yes, Aya. Well, may I tell you, say, it's a great honor. I've never have anyone on the platform of this magnitude and stature before. So for me, it's a great honor having the king of SKA, the son, Prince Buster, son. Prince Buster is world renowned, worldwide, Thank you for taking the time again. Great honor, as I say. Talk to me about the eye though. The eye is Sultan Holly. Zane. I know that many people know of the eye. I see the eye in many interviews. I see the eye around the world. I also see the eye performing with your father. See? Talk to me about the eye self. Which part of the eye born and grew up?
Western Kingston, the capital of the city, Western Kingston, the heart of the Western Kingston. Victoria Jubilee, what we said, they'll call it lining. Some people call it lining, some people call it Victoria Jubilee. North Street and Rose Lane, basically. Western Kingston. Between Rose Lane and Orange Beach Street. Like I said, the heart of Western Kingston.
And what was them time they like, for the eye grew up, in a West Kingston at the time. Which time we are looking upon?
You're talking about in the latter part of the 50s. Very, very interesting time. Very trying time, very interesting times, and people are trying to find them way. Because like I said, I was born before independence. So as you say, so-called independence. People trying to find their way. My father trying to find his way as well. Trying to create a music, carve out an economical niche, a musical niche for himself, socially and politically. So it's a trying time, but it was very interesting time because my birth catalyzed, I should say, being the origin of SKA music. Because like you said, before I was born, my grandmother always said, Danny, yo, from the day you're born, your poopa never call England like saying, mama for a teaspoon of sugar. And from the day I was born, the January of that next year, Prince Buster took off like a lightning rod in Western Kingston. And like I said, the rest is so-called our story. Not his story, but our story.
Rastafari. Yeah, so all right, in them time there, Zane, for the I say you're born before independence, Zane.
So-called, yeah.
Yeah. So at that period, cause I say it was trying time, Zane. So Jamaica was at the time was still seen as I don't know, probably British at the time. Did they them have British passport?
Yeah. No, I never remember having one of those, but we was on one of the British colonialism, Still, basically, you're still under the British thing. Like I say, so-called independence, but we were dominated by Britain, so to speak, at that time.
So Jamaica today, I know far different from then still, but there's a stigma, you know, with Jamaica and crime and violence and all of them things there. Did I witness any of them type of thing they're growing up in your time?
Yeah, well, you see, coming up in those times again, you're going to see all that tried. When somebody's been marooned in a certain island, have been dumbed down, taken from their culture, from their creed, from their language, from their whole environment, and put in another part of the world. You're going to have stuff like that. You got the pros and the cons, the positive and the negative, because there's two opposing forces, causes polarity causes action and everything. So basically, it was always there, you know, back and forth, struggling, trying to get out of the so-called ghetto, trying to make a living, trying to take care of your family, trying to make a name, trying to be established. It was always a struggle. And like I said, the first struggle was the sperm that was emitted to your mother to perform you and everything. The sperm find the eggs, and a lot of sperm didn't make it to the eggs and everything. So from birth, it was a struggle. And in life, there's always struggle. But out of struggle comes forth strive it. So it's always there, basically. And it's still happening today. Because it's the two opposing forces of nature causes motion. And motion is the first order of the universe. And after motion comes order. So it's a natural proclivity.
Seeing. So obviously what we are seeing today never really exists in the high time of growing up in terms of, you know, politically, you know, when we look on Jamaica today, how, you know, the island is split in two, you know, with two political parties.
Yes, that's what it's now. We got the two political opposing parties and everything. Again, that's party. And these things will happen again, because you must understand that when you've been colonized, your paradigm shift comes from somebody outside of your natural path and everything. What am I saying? You've been indoctrinated, or we've been indoctrinated from a Eurocentric mindset, and it's sort of two political parties and everything. But when one has a critical thinking and analysis and start to critique things, that's when one raises into consciousness of who and what you are and everything. And some people still in the doldrum, some people never get out of it. Because, I mean, some people just want the material things of life, and they rather go along to get along just to achieve material things. But again, let me iterate. We are now entering the age of Aquarius, which is there's a level playing field, I should say a geometrical playing field. So all that's not right, all that's incongruent, going to be exposed, and all that's not natural is going to be challenged and everything. So it's like, I was just saying, naked truth chasing a well-dressed lie, because we've been living a lie for too long, you know?
Seeing. All right, I hear what I say. Yeah, it's a serious time right now still, you know, I talk about your time, age of Aquarius. Yeah, serious time. Talk to me about the I father though. What was the I father like, you know, what it was like for the I growing up, you know, with a man like your father. What was that experience like?
Well, first, let me, as in general, I always speak, I always do like a preamble to my father's recognition and to my advocacy on behalf of my father. Let me be clear about this. Mohammed, I should say Cecil Bustamante Campbell, Mohammed Yusuf Ali, Prince Buster, is Jamaica's pride ambassador, SKA pioneer, icon legend, and national hero. Let me clear for the record. And why I'm saying these things, because, I mean, my father was born May 24th, 1930. And at that time, you had the Bustamante revolt and everything, fighting for the working class people. In the tenement, you had a 145 and a half, Orange Street. This is between Drummond Street and Orange Street. And then the people in the yard said, Miss Olive, that's my grandmother. You got to name him Buster. So the time he was born, it fit for the type of thing that he has done in Jamaica. Being a revolutionary, coming up for the downtrodden people, being a voice for the voiceless, plus his sound system name was basically, the moniker was basically Prince Buster, the first voice of the people, the voice of the common man, the voice of the unheard, the voice of the unheralded. And that's what he did. And I must say this, my father is my first hero. I've seen heroes all around the world, but my father is my first hero. my biological first year, the things I saw and witnessed he did in Western Kingston, working in the business, going along with him, going to the banks, Barclays Bank, King Street, doing all that stuff. I mean, he's definitely my hero. And I stand on his shoulder, everything that he has taught me and the guidance and everything. And I'm just say I'm very, very privileged because a lot of people didn't have that exposure to the things that I've been exposed and the knowledge that I've acquired and what I was around, the production, the studios, the federals, the couriers and all the so-called movers and shakers in Jamaica. Prince Buster did it and then some.
My lord. Yes, I. You still there?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, man. See. All right, so but you know, as a youth though, I hear what they are saying, but you know, as a youth, you know, growing up with a man like your father, what was that experience like? You know what I mean?
I can't. I'm trying to find the words or the what you call it, the comparative or the superlative, or even the adjective to describe. I mean, it was humongous. Here it is now. You're a little boy growing up in Western Kingston, and if you walk from Orange Street, I mean from Rosen to Orange Street, people shouting your name. Buster son, prisoner, Danny Dale and Lauren, Al Capone, Hard Man for Dead, and Burke's Law, naming all the songs and everything. I mean, just by walking from Roseland to Orange Street, going to primary school, right there by Charles Street and West Street, you know, see it, and then North Street, and then Kingston College and everything. I mean, it was bigger than life. Trust me, because he had a popularity that transcends Western Kingston. Like I said, he was Jamaica's first national hero, as far as the music is concerned, musically speaking, because people like Miss Louise Bennett, the matriarch, I should say, the matriarch and the patriarch, Mr. Randy Williams. Those people like the matriarch and the patriarch of our entertainment, business, culture, and everything. And my father was definitely influenced by them. Yeah, to keep it the Jamaican style and everything. And I must say, I was in a movie with Mr. Randy Williams back in 1974. I was at third form at Kingston College, entitled Marijuana Affair with Mr. Randy Williams. Wrote my script right there and then on the steps of the Central Police Station. Started with Cabin Lock Up. My brother and I, Kareem, we were a part of that movie too. My father had connections and friendship with a man called Mr. Lucian Chin, was a big boxing promoter back in the early days and everything. So it was bigger than life, trust me.
Rastafari.
For the things he has done. And all the people who came after him, I should say, owe him a debt of gratitude, because before Buster there was none. There was no young black men in Western Kingston stepping up like that on such a level, integrating the jukebox business, creating the music, standing up with the sound system and everything. That was unheard of, unprecedented. And came, like I said, from humble beginnings to now going to Europe, and I see witnessing 30,000 people in Hong Kong. And I mean, by the time I hit London Gatwick, I mean, BBC right there and everything. I mean, it was really bigger than that. Plus, I grew up working in the business, so I know these people personally speaking. Dennis Brown and I grew up on Beach Street, you know?
Seeing. Rastafari. Yeah. So, when the I did kind of conscious of you know, who your father really is, because you know your father is not a normal individual, you know, in Jamaica at the time.
But like I tell you from before, I was like a, what we call it now, elder spirit, because I grew up my matriarch. You see, my first teacher is really my maternal grandparents. And I should give them a shout out. You know, my maternal grandparents. Her name is Elsada Brown, hail from the parish of Clarendon, I think the city, the area from Muck and everything. And my grandmother told me certain things that no college or university has told me. When she said, Danny, yo, from the day you born, you put on the calling like say, Mama for a teaspoon of sugar. And that's why I sent you the MP3 files, because normally let's start with a song called Danny, Dale and Lorraine. I don't know if you got that MP3 files. That's a classic ska song made in 1963 that depicts the whole life of the family. My brother and I, Safia, my sister, and my mother. We're the first royal family of Jamaican music, bar none. Because in 1963, our name was mentioned in the song called Danny Dale and Lauren. And I sent you that MP3 file so that people could hear that song. And it's a ska tune. And ska, I must say, is Jamaica's first national music. Let's just be clear about that as well. And for a man to come up with a boop boop beat, what they call the boop boop beat and everything, and change the way people listen to rhythm and blues and everything. And Buster was a revolutionary, would flip the script, because at that time he didn't possess a visa to go to the States like Cox and Duke with to acquire them rhythm and blues. So he had to create something that was nationally Jamaican, by the people, of the people, and for the people. And it was ska music with the help of the great drum bigger, Judge Jerry, you know, and all these other great people.
So them time there, your father never have a studio of his own at them time there?
I said it came from humble beginnings. He started with an idea. But he was born in, I say again, nothing is more powerful than a good idea whose time has come. You see, he was born for that mission. Like I said, the day when he was born, I mean, just a month before that, Buster Manti was doing some stuff in the island for the regular workers and everything. And he was born 1 month after that. It was in April of 38, and May 24th of 38, Buster was born. And everybody in tenement got some mythology. You got to name your son Buster, because of what Buster Manti was doing. So he was born with that spirit, being the voice of the voiceless, standing up for the downtrodden people, being the advocate. And he did it all his life, because when people got problems, I mean, Buster was the first one they come to. Anything in Western Kingston is Buster. Socially, politically, economically. Buster spearheaded that. When Dr. Walter Rod the protest, my father and I marched with hundreds of people down to the Star. I was 9 years old. During 1968 with Dr. Walter Rod reports and everything. So if you add up all these things, the socially, economically, politically, the music, the religion, one-man charity organization, the sound system, the production, the record label, the jukebox. I mean, this is unprecedented. And that's why I say he's a national hero. Because before him, there was none.
I say him is a national hero, but do you think Jamaica recognize him in that light?
Well, I tell you what, this is written in our book. They will soon come to know if they only but knew. Well, I've traveled around the world, and it's not just because he's my father. I've witnessed the works, because all the people who they tried to honor, Buster opened the door for all of them. Case an example, the song called "Oh Carolina." I always say this in all the program. All the Rastas in all the different houses to give Buster a whole Buster a debt of gratitude, because he was the first one who took Rastamans out of Warwick Hill and made a song called "Oh Carolina." And now the rest is our story again. Unprecedented feat, bucking the system, giving the unheard to be heard, giving the downtrodden man a place, put him on a platform, put him on the sound system so you could hear the Akata drum with the great counters playing. All those stuff was unprecedented.
So what you're saying, your father gave the first set of Rastaman them this the platform to go international. Definitely.
The records are there. Oh Carolina. That's the song made Shaggy famous. You know that?
Yeah, man.
Okay. But for him to have a mindset like that in the late 50s, 57, 58, like that takes vision. And where there are no vision, people perish. So what they're doing, because Buster set that pattern, bucking the system, not with money, with a spirit, because he was the voice of the people. Western Kingston came with him. You see, he didn't have the financial capital. What he had was the people capital. It's a difference. The people loved him because he was from the local people. My father says he's from the donkey people, the downtrodden people. And he stepped up because he had that spirit. But he came to do our work, and he did it. That's before all this other celebrities talking about, because all them come from Kingston, trying to pattern, even according to Bunny Lee. Bunny Lee told Buster, said, come back to the studio, because if you don't come back, I'm going to be the next Prince Buster. Strikingly, I'm talking about and everything, because he was unprecedented for a young black boy in Western Kingston to do the things he did. He didn't come from no financially secure family. It was unprecedented. Come from humble beginnings. But he had a vision, and where there are no vision, people perish.
True. That is a reality. Yes, sir.
And mind you, there was obstacles, there was opposition. Like I said, it takes both. It takes the positive and the negative in your car battery to start a car. One has to be in the positive and one has to be on the ground. If the ground is not connected, that car won't start. So you take the two opposing force, the pros and the cons. Some pistons has to be on the downstroke, while other pistons on the upstroke to cause this locomotion or movement. So there was pushback and everything, but that's what causes the balances and everything. And we say steadfast in the face of hardship, struggle but strive.
But you know, answer the question I'll know still, you know. You think Jamaica really recognize your father in the light as what I say? Because we see a lot of ones get honor, not in SKA still, because you know the music of the day is reggae and dancehall, you see? And we know, as I just said, the first Rastaman set a Rastaman them your father put out there, see? So do you think your father get that recognition, you know, for the works that him do?
Let me explain it like this to you. Like I said, I've traveled the world, and every day I'm into communication with people around the world. Globally is no problem. We got to target Jamaica. Jamaica know what my father has done. I know, and the people who is my age and older knows. The youngsters might not know, so I give and take 2 generations might be in the quandary, so to speak. And that's why I'm here doing an advocacy and everything. They can go do their homework. They can go do the due diligence and everything. And if they want to be proper, want to be truthful, check the thorough history of Jamaican music, just like calling it Reggae Month. And that's a disservice to call it Reggae Month, because reggae evolved from rocksteady evolved from ska and everything. Come with the quadrille and all this stuff. And all this regular music and everything. But that was the music that put Jamaica on the map. They know, again, but there's a lot of politics in this thing. Because you must understand, Buster was the first man to challenge the status quo, to challenge the administration of, from Hugh Lawson Shearer. There's a lot of politics in this business. There's a private side and there's a public side. But if you check the status of the work, coming from nothing when there was nothing. You say, buddy can big up them chest now and talk blah, blah. But I know in early days, they weren't around. A lot of them is Janet and Johnny come lately, trying to interpolate the history. And like a lot of them have never witnessed on Beach Street. They know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. And we go to Europe all over, trust me. And I've been around, they know. We just got to target Jamaica and everything. Last night I spoke to a very prominent man till about 7 o'clock this morning. And he said, I'm not going to call the name, he said to me, he said, listen, your father has never gotten his due from Jamaica. I say, you're wise, man. He said, I know, because I grew up in the West. I know what your father did. He has never gotten his due. That's why I'm here.
So, all that make you feel still, for look upon, your father catalog of work, you know what he did, you grew up experiencing, the whole thing. Or that make you feel as someone who born and grew up in Jamaica?
Well, again, the feel thing is someone on the emotional side, but I understand politics. I understand human nature. There's a pros and cons, okay? And when you're bold enough to step outside of the box, because most people are in the proverbial box, they have gotten, I would call it animal husbandry, guys as education. And there's someone that comes outside of the box, bucking this system. Because the real power is not in the boxing. The crabs in the boxing is the one that gets out. And sure, so you can get out too if you want to, if you got that kind of willpower and everything. So I know what I got to deal with, but it's out there and we're pushing it forward. And I'm aiming to challenge anyone from the government, from the institution. Prince Buster is the man that I'm telling you he is. And all them people who they're praising, Prince Buster set a standard, a template that all them come from the country could walk on it. Because they say the first cut is the deepest. And he's one who changed the game from the rhythm and blues and the bebop to the Buster boop boop beat. You see? And the boop boop beat became ska. And that's a national song. I mean, that's a national genre. And if you look at the video from somebody sent me from Europe about 6 months ago, you could see back in 1964 of April, my father ventured into Heathrow promoting ska music. Where has it been done before? Where one man, listen to this, check this out, I want you to critique this analytically, dissect it. A one man, young black man from Western Kingston, from humble beginnings, okay, recording himself, never sang for nobody, was his own producer from there, put up his own money, studio time, recording, setting up typeset, master recording, mixing, master, stamper, acetate, lithographics, graphics and everything. Design a whole layout of an album concept. Finished product. Jumped on a plane, going to England to do his own business. That was never done before. It's like a one-stop shop. And the video's there to prove it. 1964, when he entered Heathrow, you can see the people mobbed him at the airport. That was 2 months before Chris Blackwell recorded My Boy Lollipop. That was done in April. Buster was there in England, 1964, February that month. So if you check all these things, that's just music. For him to even host Muhammad Ali in Jamaica again, that's another bigger than life story. If you should take time to really, really dig and consult. Case in point again, about 2 weeks ago, I got a call from some people from France. She's doing some back studies on my father and everything. She's trying to write a book and everything. This lady sent me some documents from 1968. Never met her before. She just met me on social platforms. She said, I got something to show you because I'm doing a research on your father. And she showed me the document I spoke about from 1968 with Dr. Walter Rodney and some very prominent people was still headlining the whole thing. See? If you take time to do your homework, you'll see clear right there. See, the thing has been hidden, it's been interpolated. And true, because the political expediency, they're trying to block certain things. But like I said, we are now in the age of Aquarius.
But
we're all true record. Go ahead.
Why it's interesting why Jamaica would want to blot out their own history.
No, not their own history. Again, you must understand that what Muhammad Ali was doing in the US, Buster was doing in Jamaica. You got to understand it. Standing up for the downtrodden people, bring a voice for the voiceless. He was one of the first musicians to challenge the system and the status quo with the sheriff, took him to the courthouse and everything, and the case was signed down, no future date. That's unprecedented feat that we're talking about 1968. With the average man, you wasn't born in 1960, but ask the average man, what were you doing in 1968? He can't even remember.
So
1968, I was in the front like my father for Dr. Walter Rodney.
At the time, why? He was the Governor General at the time, you sure?
No, he was a Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, okay.
And he said, Buster introduced an alien religion to Jamaica. And they raided our house and everything. My mother, my father was on trial. See, these things are documented at the Star and the Gleaner.
So, what type of alien religion is this you're talking about?
Islam.
Islam. See.
That's what it was deemed and everything. So when you condense all this stuff, it's much more than just music. So there's a lot of stuff in Western culture.
So your father was brought to court and get locked up because of
No, not just locked up, but he was on trial. Come on, he was on trial. Go do the homework. He was on trial at the Afritree Courthouse. His attorney was a man called Frank Phipps back in 1968.
Because
I eventually come back.
You might practice Islam.
The practice Islam. When you start opening up, it's again, the slave master only can rule you if you're ignorant and dumb. The slave master fear the day light turns to your pineal gland. You see, once you say, ye shall know the truth, and shall is a future tense. Once you awaken, the spirit, the energy, the vibration, the frequency, the power from the unseen to the seen go rise. So it's best bet to keep them down and keep them ignorant so we can play. Are you aware of the story called The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, man.
Do you understand the moral of the Wizard of Oz?
I think so.
All right, let me get like a synopsis. You remember Dorothy trying to find her way back? She had the lion, she had the scarecrow and the tin man, and they were going down the yellow brick road, and the dog Toad were walking with them. And she was trying to find something that she already had. But because she was miseducated, she was turned inside out. She didn't know. Till the dog went, arr, 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 and pointed and showed the door, said, somebody's behind that door. And Dorothy, they just opened the door. And guess who was behind that door? The wizard, who'd been tricking them all along. And what he said to them? Oh, please don't hurt me. I was just playing the game because you guys were lost. Please don't hurt me. You see, when you expose the fraud, the game is up. If you get my drift.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's what happened. He was bold enough to expose the fraud and everything. and give the unlearned people, the bottom draft people, bring them to some kind of parity. And the powers that be didn't want that, because Buster was bucking the system.
So is it because Jamaica is seen more as a Christian country then, or island at the time?
I wouldn't say this one. There's many things to that. You must understand again. Ignorance. You see, the two things that keeps our people back in this is fear and ignorance. It's not that the enemy is that so much formidable. Yes, he is. But when you have truth on your side, the universal force, the guide, because everything you see comes from what you can't see. You know? Once you awaken, the game is over. That's why they say, ye shall know the truth, and the truth what? Set you free. Shall is a future tense. And that's what I'm saying. We are now in the age of Aquarius. That's why all these things are happening around the world. But fear not, because we're going to hurl truth at falls till we knock the brains out. It's that time. And you can't get around it. Nothing is more powerful than a good idea whose time has come. That's why you're speaking to me now. That's why you're hearing my voice now. Naked truth chasing a well-dressed lad. It's a universal force. No one can stop that. It's that time.
Zin. You kind of make a distinction earlier, you know, when you said that he wasn't fighting for Jamaican people. What you mean? Because you say him that fight for the downtrodden and poor and have not, you know.
Well, you know, there is always a social divide. You know it in Jamaica. You have the uptown, the bourgeoisie. I mean, the people who are economically more opulent and socially connected and economically connected, and ones who can fly out to Florida, Miami, New York. Or some people, my father couldn't get a visa back in the early days to leave Jamaica. These are the privileged. They're different social class in Jamaica. You got to understand the social divide, social economical divide. My father said he came from the downtrodden people. He called them the donkey people. Not to cast a dispersion, but that's where we come from. But to rise from that, from nothing, to become prominent, that's when I go to Hong Kong. This man bowed before me and kissed my hand. Over 30-something thousand people. So these things are real. Man drove, when I was in Coventry, signing autographs, and I mean, this lady, 7 of them drive 90 miles just to do a photo op. This thing is really global around the world. Is that Jamaica is so somewhat some kind of myopic. So I'm just moving the scale off the eyes and start to prick the brain so to think, wake up and think outside of the box, because the power is really outside, not within the box. You're not the matrix.
Yeah.
That's what my advocate is about. Mm-hmm.
Yes, me hear what they say. Yeah. So when them man they bring Muhammad Ali a Jamaica, you know, to bring them man they come to Jamaica, you know, you can't be a normal individual. You know what I mean?
Again, go.
Was
that's
that,
what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Was that merely because of there were 2 Muslim brothers at the time? Why that happened?
Like I tell you from before, Jeremiah, I know you're from in the womb. Most people think because they go to school and get some European academia, so to speak, that they control their path in this world. No. Your script has been written from your mother's womb in the triple darkness. Everything about you has been written. And all you see came from what you can't see. Okay? The things that he did, like you said, no normal, average Johnny come late, the person that could do that. Unless there's a divine intervention, a divine guidance. For you to attract a man like Muhammad Ali, you got to have something. So they said, bring something to the table. And when you look at both of them, they're like brothers and everything. So he could host Muhammad Ali in Jamaica and everything. And that's when Buster even became bigger than life, because he even Buster's enemy on both political aisle, the PMP and the GFP, both of them was basically kissing his butt, trying to get a photo op with Ali. The phone rang at the office 24/7. Who's who? Even the enemies, even the hypocrites that we'll call it. Everybody wanted to be in the presence of the greatest, the GOAT, so to speak. Brother Muhammad Ali and everything. So for you to do that in Western Kingston and Sheraton Hotel and all around Kingston, Jamaica, these are not ordinary feats, you know. These are not ordinary feats. I'm talking about back in those days, not now. Back in those days. Because that's been a while back. So if one should take time to really do the research that this lady from France did, send me some documents from 1968. I mean, I said, I take my hat off to you because you're really digging to find the truth. Because the truth is basically hidden. The real thoroughness of the truth is beyond what you see on the surface, like fluff, interpolation, twist and turn, and add and subtract and minus and divide. Because most people have a hidden agenda. But like I said, the universal force said now is time for truth. Nothing is more powerful than a good idea whose time has come.
Not true.
And we are in that time now. You know?
We
call it the theology of time. We call it the theology of time. That's why you're speaking to me right now. Because it's not now that I re-record our program. I'm speaking very much to you extemporaneously. No script.
No man, this design, man. This design. Yeah, without any script, you know what I mean? Yeah, RD and then if that is the word. Yeah.
Real, no real. At that time. Okay.
Let me jog the eye memory a little bit. They are talking about time. I see someone dropping at the chat room early that they must know about Bakawal. Zin. What is the recollection of the Bakawal when the Bobos was there, Prince Emmanuel? What is their recollection, if any? I know that is what the Virgin was asking about in the chat room.
Well, Bakawal is now currently Tivoli Garden, adjacent to the Lizard Town and everything.
Yeah.
Never met Prince Emmanuel face to face, but we used to visit Mortimer Planet regularly. Okay, when my father dropped off the dogs at the JSPC, Coliseum Drive in Spanish Town, where we used to drive, and hours, long dialogue with Mortimer Planet, Trenchtown. Okay, like I said, never met Emmanuel, know of him, know about the place, the location, right, a little bit from Queen's Theatre, like in the entrance into Tivoli Garden, where they situate with the Billings Mattress and the Ramdale Ironworks and everything. They were there. And after a while, the system, so-called, so to speak, moved them out. But I never met Emmanuel personally. But I met Mortimer Planet.
What do you mean? When you say move them out, what do you mean?
Well, I remember driving past here several times, and it was a raid by a whole bunch of police. So I remember clearly. And they were trying to bulldoze and get them off of the land. I remember that very clearly. That was back in the day. Like you see Queen's Theatre, just like you pass a little bump over the gully, like the entrance to the going on Spanish Town Road. There's the Emmanuel was right here, and then I think you had the Billings Mattress, and then you had the Ironworks from some Indian people called the Ramdales. I remember that clearly. So, and after a while, they weren't there anymore.
Seeing. So, what did I go on? Were you members of youth? What
I heard rumors.
Them did I go on with?
I heard rumors about some kind of dead body. I mean, I can't vibe for that. I mean, because I don't like to spread thought and think. I like to be accurate when I speak. But I heard rumors about some deceased body was over there rotting and stinking and blah blah blah. Basically, that's what I've heard toward the grapevine.
See, and that's why the police them was over there, bulldoze the place.
Not necessarily why and everything. Like I said, I haven't got the whole kitchen and completely on that basically. But that was one of the so-called reason I heard. But there's always a multiplicity of reasons, not just one reason.
Yeah.
So I don't like to narrow things down. I like to spread it out and see what holds its weight, because every truth has to hold its own independence weight. Throw it on the water, if it's good, it's gonna stick.
Not sure. Yeah, the system, Jamaican system, may I tell you. Serious. Always a fight the people. Yeah. So alright, the I, Zane, cause we speak a lot about the I father. I know we are going to talk more about him still. But the I now, the I is very much involved in the music yourself. The I still performing?
Yes, man, definitely. I've been performing all my life. Remember, I grew up in a record store, in a record office, 24/7 I hear music, going to school, coming from my lunch money, you hear music 24/7. Plus, in the weekends, my father kept his own dances. And my job back in those early days was to walk around the dance. I like Farsazal, that's North Street and Loveland, to pick up the empty bottles. My grandma used to be selling the Kurgot and the Manish water and fag rice and everything. My mom used to be at the gate collecting the money. My uncle Noel used to be in the bar selling the Red Stripe, the Mackie and Stout, the DNG. And at a certain time of the night, my grandmother used to have my brother and I, Kareem, walk around the dance and pick up the empty bottles in the Red Stripe box beer so my father could recycle for the next upcoming dance. She said dances.
So there I never stop work.
I grew up working. See, again, we had our own business in Jamaica. Because they say if you work for somebody, you're a slave. And that's why my father bucked the system again. And now they got a fancy word called entrepreneur. They got a fancy word now they use, say entrepreneur. He was charting his own destiny. He always said he was a self-made man. He always tell me that. I'm a self-made man. Me never comes to nothing. Yeah, I remember those words.
All right. They are in the music, see? And as I say, the I is like like me I talk to one of Bob Marley's son them. You see me I say? In other light there. Because the I father is king of SKA. See? And that is very important to people to acknowledge. Zine, alright. In the music business, Zine, because a lot of ones outside of the music business tend to speculate and they have a lot of theory or so-called conspiracy theories, Zine, about devilism in the music industry, and we are talking about right across the board now. We're not just narrow it down to reggae music and things, right across the board, because there is into music, I know various type of different people you meet in life. Zine, that narrative that people love to say about people who is probably famous or rich in the music, that are devil thing them a deal with. What's your thought on that?
Be a little more specific. I mean, in the music, meaning what? Creator of music, personality, producers. I mean, can you narrow it down a bit?
Artists, sometimes producers as well, but mostly artists.
Well, let me tell you like this. As you look, you see night and you see day. In everything in the universe, there's always an opposite. Everything that the universal Father has made, there's an opposite. There's a good, there's a bad. There's a up, there's a down. There's a yes, there's a no. Like I said, the two opposing forces of nature causes motion. But one has to stay on the right path. And it's a struggle because the enemy is very clever. And if you're not spiritually grounded, if you're materially driven, yes, you will compromise. Worship me and all this, I'll add on to thee. But it's after you get ready to leave here and you say, wow, I made a big mistake. So you have to be grounded in everything. And there's a pros and cons in everything. There's a private side and there's a public side. So one has to be grounded. One has to be well studied. One has to be of integrity. One has to be conscious. One has to have a proper causation for doing things, not just for selfish reason. You know, sometimes you have to be a bit altruistic. You know, there's all different levels, but there are different people with different strokes for different folks. But everything is right here. Everything is right here. The pros and the cons, the ups and the downs, the yes and the no. It's right here before your face. But there's which road will you choose? And what are you willing to give up? You know, and some people compromise integrity for little material gains and everything. So
you feel like say, artists in the reggae business, you feel say some of them sell out?
I'm not really a fan of the word feel, you know. When it's a feel and those kind of word and try, it tend to be like, because I don't speak about stuff that I have no knowledge of, you see, to make a cast any kind of dispersion and everything. But there are things that's happening. See, it has never happened to me, because from day one, I kept my thing a certain way, a certain straight, because I've been growing it all my life, coming up in a certain teaching, you know, see? So I kept my thing straight, and it's a narrow. And sometimes it's a struggle, but it's written, struggle but strive. But there's certain people, I've heard a lot of stuff, don't have a first-hand knowledge, but my study of life and nature, live long enough to see these things. Like I said, there's a night and there's a day.
All right. I don't know if me cause part of me attack, you know, so I don't know.
I get there's a night and day. Next thing, there's an opposite. It's just that what you're willing to do, because you have some people willing to sell them soul. These things happen. I've been open about that, but I've never witnessed or be a part of that. That's what I'm saying. I kept mine on the straight and narrow.
No, because, you know, when we look upon how things set in the music today, Zane, and especially in Jamaican side of music, you know, you can see artists that, you know, they appear like, you know, they, you know, them compromising in some way. You know, when you see them perform, you know, out on tours, you know what I mean, you listen to them, there are certain things that is going on and they're not addressing, and you have to wonder why, you know, and especially you're a Rasta, why you wouldn't address these type of things, especially being, you know, a Rasta that is popular at the moment, you know what I mean? So you question these things.
Again, there's all different kind of people. I mean, there are different levels of people consciousness, like a so-called degree. There's different consciousness. Some people might try to get ahead, and if you say, we got to play this card, this game, walk this line because I want so and so and so and so. I'm trying to get some attribution of certain things in the future. And sometimes they do compromise and everything. This happened to me. My father bucked the system. I mean, put his career on the line. Bucking the system, trying to free people in Jamaica and everything and give them the light and everything. But nowadays, it's all about materialism. It's about the greenback and everything, the Benjamin, so to speak. So people are like that, and they'll do all these kind of things. And I'm basically not casting a dispersion, but these things happen because there's always a deal out there. Somebody trying to make a deal with you. Somebody trying to make you bite this cake and everything. But you have to be wise enough. Not just wise, I think called discernment. Discernment, like my grandmother who could not read nor write, but she had a qualitative discernment. She could pick up on the energy and the spirit, which because there's an etheric wave that runs from every living force and everything. She picks up on that and everything. So there's all kind of people out there. Because now it's the bling age, and everybody want to bling, I want to bling, I want to bling. But I think I should tell them that I think all of them should take a page out of Michael Jackson's book or learn from Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston. I would suggest that. Because in the end, it's not sweet. In the end, we always say the fool learn the rule when the game is over. To thyself be true.
Serious. Yeah,
because in the end, everything balances, and in the end, everything makes sense. I'm going to say, yeah, close the gate after that. It's gone. because he got tricked. You know, and most people, they've been deceived. They've been a deceived people for far too long. I said a lot of people have been in darkness and don't know because they think it's darkness to light. No, it's a mind, it's the way you think, it's a condition, it's a software that's in your head from before you got here, up to 14 and 20 generations prior to your being on this planet. That's how deep the program is, generational programming. This thing is really, 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 really deep, but you got to take time to study these things and get into the spiritual side of it.
When I said generational, the system.
The system that you've been on. Remember,
white supremacy. White supremacy.
Well, some people call it that, but then you see, the enemy has been ruling the planet for about 6,000 years. And just think about how long you've been indoctrinated, how long you've been going to school.
The enemy.
The 14,
who you call the enemy? Though? Who you call it?
The opposition. The opposing force from truth. You see, there's a force fighting truth. You see, naked truth chasing a well-dressed lie. If you know about the story that lies and truth went for a swim. As a matter of fact, lie came to truth and said, "Hey, let's go get a swim." Okay.
Yeah, but you have to more simplify it for the people. I'm still in it. Yeah.
Let me give this anecdote. This is a brief anecdote. And so when they went into the water, I mean, Lai jumped in the water and started swimming. Said, "Oh, the water is very nice, and come on in, Truth." And he's swimming around and everything. And by the time Truth took off his clothes, put it on the ground and everything, jumped in the water, Lai slowly crept out, unbeknownst to Truth. Acquired Truth garments and everything, and ran off. Now, when Truth got wind that he's gone, look for him, can't find him. So it is a naked Truth chasing a well-dressed lie. And that's what we've been living for the longest. But because bling bling is the order of the day now, they think by having bling bling that they have arrived. You see? And it's bling bling, but you don't produce nothing. Everything you buy is from another producer. So the man has his hands in your pocket 24/7. You give it right back because you don't produce nothing. You're a consumer. You eat up everything. You see? So these things are happening, but our people got to be critical in their thinking and take back their mind. Like I say, education is really animal husbandry. Guy is education. And there's a book you should read, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. It's a very thorough book one should read. Very powerful.
So what the ayah said, the artists the music is really owned by other people. Is that what the ayah said?
Well, again, it's a deal you're making. Because again, a lot of people don't understand the music business, and everybody's so anxious. And like my great father friend, when I say a big shout out to the great King Sporty, Mr. Noel Williams, the husband of the late Betty Wright, one of the co-writers of Bob Marley's song Buffalo Soldier. He always said, "Don't be anxious, be conscious." So big shout out to the great King Sporty, the only man that played 3 sound system at the same time, Buster Coxon and Drew Creed. Great King Sporty. I gotta give a shout out to a man like that. Foundation man from the SKA era, from Western Kingston, via Port Antonio and everything. So like I said, Ijahstars, these things are happening. And if you live long enough, you see these things. And if you're conscious enough, you will see. But most people take a blind eye because, you see, it's like a eater food mentality, so to speak. So integrity got thrown to the window or put some kind of backdoor type thing. So it's all about the bling. But after a while, the game play out because if there's no truth and honesty, it's just temporary for a while. And then when you wake up, now your deathbed again, when they leave you, you start having regrets. Oh, if I coulda, woulda, shoulda, I wish I'd done, blah, blah, blah. And that's why they say confession is good for the soul. You know? So all these things is manifesting. I've seen it played out over and over. Within personal life, within the family, within the social economic dynamics, political realm, religious, spiritual, these things are happening because there's a two force struggling. It's like Esau and Jacob in the womb. There's two forces struggling. That's like truth and lies. But in the end, truth always wins. In the end, on the sweet by and by, eventually, truth triumph over lies. Naked truth chasing a worthless lie.
music have a lot of influence. Seeing, what is your thoughts on the music scene in Jamaica now, especially the hardcore side of Jamaican music?
You're talking about the dancehall, so-called dancehall genre?
Yeah, man.
Well, again, the youth, they are creating something. I mean, every youth has that. It's a music is a generational type thing, you know. But there's also a foundation on basic. Like the Papa Garvey always say, a people without a sense of their past are like trees without roots. And no tree cannot live without a roots. Roots sustain the whole trees and the limbs and the branches and the blossom and everything. So, but that's why I'm always advocating. Yes, do what you're doing, but just remember from whence you came. Just like I remember my upbringing in Western Kingston. I don't care where I go. I've been around the world, but I'll never forget Western Kingston. That's where everything started. That's my nativity. That's my birth and everything. So you got to build on what you came and saw. But most people don't think like that. They think that they came and they started. No, he was here before you got here. You see? And then the ego get the best of them and everything, and the hype and everything, and got a whole bunch of yes men and soothsayers and around him. And these things happen for somebody who's young, getting this kind of money and getting this kind of popularity and everything. And they started to get to that. So like Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype, don't buy the hype. Keep your feet on solid ground, because it's only for a while, trust me.
Serious. Yeah. The hype is only for a while. Serious. All right. They're in America, right? They live in America.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Black people in America, there seems to be something with the police and black people. I don't think black people murder anywhere else in the world by police more than police in America. What are your thoughts on that? Why you think that is up until this day? Why you think that still a repetitive thing that is going on?
Well, again, that's a very truthful question there and everything, and it's very, very deep. Like I said, you go back 20-something generation, the programming and everything. That's one of the reasons, basically. But it's even deeper than that. When you start getting to some kind of documentation, edict from the papal bull from the Vatican side, and understand what really went down, it's bigger than just a Democratic Party or a Republican Party. This thing has depth, and one has to take time to really do the homework and do diligence to study cause and effects, because the people are not who they think they are. I explained to you about the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, and I'm going right back to it again. That's what they've been living. They have been in the womb of the Wizard of Oz, not knowing, and go to school and think that they are who they are and they're not, and see the name in all capital letters and everything. So that they've been lost at sea, you know? And it's like una sanctum, and it's like they're beheaded and everything. Because when you're considered to be all capital letters, you must understand what happened to you, basically. You've been decapitated. Because when your name is all capital letters, that's not you. You see, they didn't teach us. Most people don't get teachers in so-called college. Even some liars, they're not even hip to certain things. That's really not you. You've been turned into a corporation. When you look at etymological words and the epistemology of the words and the root meaning and everything, you see basically what's really happening. See, there's an edict from the Papal Bull from way back. Let me set up. Find them, indoctrinate them, turn them around. Who won't turn around, you wipe them out. That was a decree from way back. So it's bigger than just what's happening in America. There's a root causation to this. And until our people really wake up and come out of their sleeping, so it's going to keep happening. Because again, it's only when you awaken, this thing going to stop. Our people has not been really awakened yet. Because when you're really awakened, it's going to stop. Because you're going to stand up to make it happen. But right now, again, it's a bling bling. A lot of time it's fear. A lot of time it's ignorance and everything. That's why my father, again, is a hero. Because what he did in Jamaica back in the 60s as a one man in Western Union, these things are unprecedented. You don't find it happen because people scared they might lose their life. People scared they might lose their livelihood and everything. And I mean, I'm coming up against the force, the military force, the constabulary force. Some people shaking their boots just the mere thought of that and everything. So these things are going to happen until our people are awakened. Once you're awakened from your sleep and slumber and organize, like Papa Garvey said, the biggest weapon used against our people was disorganization. Because like every man for themselves, but the enemy is organized. You can't win. So it's a matter of consciousness and awaken to thyself and everything, and unite and come together, and will be a force to reckon with. And again, you don't need everybody. You just need a conscious few again. Because again, the time is more potent than ever. We're in the best of times right now. Never been in a better time. Because the paradigm shift from Pisces to Aquarian is happening right now. And if you listen to the song by Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., the Fifth Dimension, I think they call them Fifth Dimension, it tells you about the age of Aquarius. Once it has been aligned, it's that time. And the ones who are in the know, the ones who are conscious, going to walk in that path. And some people still going to be struggling. Some people going to stand by the wayside because some people just way out there. Some people don't lost their mind. Some people don't drink alcohol, numb themselves all this time, destroying their pineal gland. So the connection to the universal force is not there because the pineal gland, which is the master gland in the body, has been damaged. So the spiritual force from the universe can't connect. See, so there's a lot of things happening. Some people is on 15, 20 medications and everything. The body's tore up. That connection from the universal force is not there. So they say, woe is me and everything. So there's a lot of tributaries and a lot of factors to this thing. But again, I said, we have never been in a better position. That's why all these things are happening now, because truth is coming and it's challenging the so-called status quo. And that's why these things are happening and everything. And because they know that it's time for you to rise. It's our rising. Remember, our rise is their fault. Yeah. It's the two opposing forces.
Virgin, I want you. I feel wonder if you bug my phone, you know. Seriously, you know.
Why you say that?
Because most of the words them that you're using, Zane, is me have a poem when I write. Wow. And the poem I talk about, you know, most of some of the things them that you talk about, their time of Aquarius and the shift and all these things. So, you know, the knowledge and information. So me I wonder if they are listen to my phone. I don't, you know.
Listen. From my little baby boy, I've been awake, man. I come on some powerful, conscious people, man. I gotta tell you, I've been exposed from as a little boy, and I've never left, not even for materialism. I've never compromised. You see, I see materialism one level. You see, and I don't worship mammon. And every time you give lifeless thing deified qualities, you're suffering from a severe case of mammonism. And a lot of people in the world is like that. Like I say, it's a bling bling thing, but it's a mammonism because they start to deify, lifeless things, give it deified, deity kind of qualities and everything. That means they are really turned backward. And of course, they have us all along, growing up in the so-called pedagogy, the Jamaican school system, the European school system on a whole and everything, tell you about clockwise and everything. When you look at the clock, the top is 12, the bottom is 6, and you got the 3, and you got the 9, and they say everything is clockwise. But you look in the universal order, you see the planets move around the sun anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
You see? All right, the blood circulation, somewhat anti-clockwise. When you go to the Kaaba and Mecca, you see the brothers of them walk around the Kaaba anti-clockwise. Something is wrong. You've been on a wrong trajectory. You've been walking backward, and they give you a master's degree and a PhD, but you have mastered nothing. Because until you know truth, you know nothing. They've taken your money, taken your mind, you pay for something that you didn't get. But granny say you buy a puss in a bag. Because you've never been able to liberate yourself. You cannot stand up against the force that be. That's why I admire Mr. Dr. Walter Rodney, because even though he entered Oxford University, they didn't take his mind. He stood his ground. He kept his mind. So my hats off to the great Dr. Walter Rodney. And that was my first taste of activism. My father brought me into that 1968. I was 9 years old, walking on behalf of Mr. Dr. Walter Rodney in 1968. I'll never forget that. That's when I know something was definitely wrong in the world.
RASTAFARI.
Here's a man went to Oxford. Oxford got the so-called PhD, and he was the attorney, chancellor of the UWI and everything. And he was kicked out of the country. He was deemed persona non grata by the same establishment who came after my father. You see? So I've been going a long time, man. Trust me.
You are a boy in Jamaica.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Serious history.
Yeah. And the real deal, that man. We wrote a book called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Everyone should read that book.
Yeah, man.
Sting deep. It's really deep. Do you have what you got? Are you really who you think you are? You sure? You sure you're not Dorothy in the land of Oz? It's also the Matrix. When I start comparing the Matrix, what the Matrix is all about. Malcolm said, you've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You've been had. You've been took. They pick your pocket so clean. Took out your wallet. They just confiscate the money and gently put the wallet back in your back pocket. You keep hitting the wallet. Yes, the wallet is there, but the money is gone. And you keep feeding the wallet, think that's your security to get home. Yes, I got my wallet, money gone. Slickness, trickery, deceit, deception, deceptive intelligence. That's what's been happening to our people. And until we awaken from our sleeping slumber, and a matter of fact, our DNA is now being regenerated. The more you spend time in the sun and you chelate your body with the extra virgin oils and everything, and decalcify, your DNA is slowly regenerated. And you will start to remember from whence you came. Know thyself. And when you know that you are a lion and not a pussycat, you're going to take your rightful position. The ones who has balls to do it, and the ones who has the gumption to do it. And some people going to be like a pussycat, and some people going to be like a lion.
See it. Religion and African people globally, on the continent and also in the diaspora. Them say religion and mostly Christian and Islam as impacted African people's mind and slow down African people. What is your thought on that, being a Muslim?
Well, they say that the saying is that religion is the opiates of the masses. You see? And the word re means to realign. But then again, there's a higher force, there's a being out there. I did not create myself. I didn't know my interest into this planetary form, in this physical form, till I was told, until I see my documentation, so to speak. And you and I don't know when we're going to leave here. But we know one thing. When the time comes, we're going to leave. Correct?
I don't know about leaving here still.
No, I mean in the physical sense, I'm talking.
Yeah, well, probably still, probably.
Okay. So if we don't know that, and everyone has a record, it's written. There's a set record for you. You can't speed it up and you cannot delay it. It's already been written. Okay, from the day you were born, from the first time your father emit that sperm finding that egg, everything has been written in the triple darkness. Okay, it's been written. So you don't know what's going to happen when it's going to happen. So we don't control our destiny. There's a higher force, and all you see come from what you can see. There's a guide. There's an unseen. So the word religion, I mean, people that bash it and people have pros and cons. but it's a spiritual path back to alignment. One has to be aligned with one's creator, the source of all things. That's what it's basically is all about. You did not create yourself. This breath that I breathe, that you breathe, don't take it for granted. Your mama couldn't buy it, your daddy can't buy it. It was given to you. And let me clarify this breath thing. It's really a spirit. That's what spirit is, you know. It's really the breath force that goes in and out. We were saying biology science class, inhale, exhale. And the process of inhaling and exhale, that's what we come to be talking about, spirituality. That is really the process, you know. Because the spirit is the life force, is the breath of the body. And that's why when the body is suspended of the life force, the body is in a corpse. Like I said to you about corporation, corpse, corporation, from the word ration or orator means to speak. The dead speak. When you start break down this word etymologically speaking, you start to see the real hidden meaning. I should say the root meaning. Get into etymology and epistemology. You start to say, because school tell you one thing, but then you start to dig down to the root meaning. Like the word degree and certain word de-ice and everything. You start to say, wow, we've been taught backwards. And that's why we cannot challenge the system. Because the so-called educational system we got is not qualified to challenge them. That's why they say you got to go to school and get an education. But they say education, which means educery, means to lead you out of. But you got tricked. Because like my grandmother sent me to the store to buy a 9. And by the time I said, Mrs. So-and-so, send me a 9. And I paid for the 9. But by the time he went under the counter, put it in the bag, he put a 6 in the bag. So here it is, I take back to my grandmother now. I said, Granny, here's the number 9. And she looked. She said, Danny, where's the 9? Grandma, it's in the bag. She said, no, I don't see. And he put it in the bag. And I looked. He flipped the script. He gave me a 6 instead of 9. And that's what they did to you. For most of our people. It's a miseducation causing all these problems because we are yet to ascertain the truth. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth is hidden. And anyone who speak about the truth, trying to raise up the unconsciousness, trying to raise up the dead people, like I said, corpse, from the word corpse means body, dead body. And when you die, you become a corpse. That's why your name is all capital letters. These are things we got to assess. Our problem is deeper than what we think it is. And no lawyer can solve this because the lawyers all work for the system. Everything has been organized against you. But you don't know. That's our brother, Papa Garvey said the biggest weapon used against our people was disorganization. And Noble Drew Ali said, let's resurrect humanity. And in his arms, he has a fallen woman. Because the woman produced the babies again. She's a womb. So we got a lot of work to do. And if you're not on this path, I mean, it's going to take some serious drive. And like even Brother Bob said, a lot of people are dry wood for the fire. But these things must come to pass. But I tell you one thing, we're in a position now, trajectory of consciousness, realization, freedom is right there now. Because the universe is backing us down. The heavy force of the universe from the black hole, all this power comes from the dark source. And your DNA is now being regenerated. So the ones who are conscious, the one who's not a wine bibber, the one who's not on medication, you're going to see these things are happening. You're going to have visions. You're going to start see things. You're going to start hear things because we are really gods and goddesses on this planet. But we got to get back to our higher self and start doing what we came here to do. Find your purpose in this life. And it's not just us to make money and floss and bling bling. There's a higher purpose.
Reality. You know, but how you tell, or you know, how you let youth today understand that, it's not about, you know, having the nice car or the big house and the old money. You know, how you make youth today understand.
But what you call nice house, I mean, like I said, there's always an opposite. You'll be deceived. A lot of people been deceived. Like I said, I think they should study the life of Michael Jackson. They should study the life of Prince. See, these people, my book tells me, it says study the people who came before you. There's a lesson. Like my grandmother was my first teacher. See? And I used to quiz her. We used to have some serious talk from us 6 and 7 and 5 and everything. I'm always curious about the word. Granny so and so and so. And I'm always picking her brain. So you must learn from the people who preceded you. Study what happened to them. Do the research. Question these things. And you find, because seek you shall find. If it's just about the superficialness and bling and new tennis shoes every minute and blah, blah. You don't buy books. You don't read. And readers are basically leaders and everything. I mean, it depends on the household from whence you came. Because I would say it's consciousness, just to be aware, cognitive of what's really happening. And we don't have the time to so-called pussyfoot around because we're living in that time. And these are the signs of the times. That's why all these things are happening in the world. It's to wake us up. It's to prick you like a man stick you with a needle to prick you. Hey! Because we've been asleep too long, awaiting from your sleep in slumber. So all these things must come to pass. And a lot of people still don't want to wake up. Because they've been so programmed so long and they want to take the easy route out. Nobody wants to struggle. Brother Peter Tosh always said, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. and when you get this kind of knowledge, you know, you can't keep it. You got to act upon this knowledge. It then tells a verb. It then tells an action. You know, see? So some people don't want to go there and say, oh, I'm scared of this and scared of that. And love the bling and acquire all these things. But after a while, you say, when you grow in the consciousness, you say, that's nothing. Because the man put it in your idea, say, hey, you got to get this, you got to get it. No, that's social engineering. You've been engineered because you're empty within you. Because if you're filled with spirit and knowledge, you couldn't move you with that. You wouldn't kill your brother for that. You wouldn't rob that. I am bigger than that. I'm a God. You see? So one has to know oneself. And seek it and you'll find it. Because it's right there. It's right there. Just seek it and you'll find it. I mean, diligently, not just hypocritical. Because there's a lot of hypocrites around. Trust me. I must really, really compound on that. There are a lot of hypocrites around. People talking duplicitous, 2 sides of their mouth and 20 and 30 sides. Hustlers around you. But if you have anything called integrity and genuine, you see it for yourself. It's clear as day. Because after a while, the game play out. Your game is only for so long. Make sure you build your house on the rock. Because it withstood when the storm comes and the test and the trial of this life.
Yeah, that is for real. A wise man build, his house upon a solid foundation, which is the rock or the hill. Yeah, man.
And that's why I'm telling you, SKA is the foundation, and that's why I'm not a big proponent of the word of the reggae type thing. I was explaining to you earlier. You see, because there's no way SKA can put Jamaica on the map and know you're gonna relegate it to a SKA. I don't mean just to a reggae type thing. So what are you doing? You're disrespecting the predecessors. It's like me coming trying to nonchalant my father. I couldn't do that. I came from his spring. You understand me?
Well, it should be a SKA reggae month.
No. All he has to do. You see, again, there's agenda. Remember, say in everything there's a public and a private side. The people who concoct that, they have the agenda. And if you live long enough where you understand it, every time there's something happening, there's not another thing here. There's somebody come to a table, a consensus or a caucus come there, and they come with a plan of action and everything. And they want to acquire a certain goal. And these are the plan of action. Everyone who's at a table come with this reggae type thing, they have an agenda basically. Because what it should to be across the board. And let me explain it to you right now. You see, when you go to the Jamaican restaurant, you see like we got Jamaican menu. You're a vegetarian, you might want some callaloo, you might want some cabbage or bok chow or something like that. If you're a meat eater, curry goat, chicken, blah, blah, blah. And I, for one, love ackee and the saltfish, okay? So you see, there's a menu, there's a plethora of menu. And that's what the same thing should be with the music. And there's a lot of people, mature people, who want to hear that 2 and the 4, want to hear the foundation music. But because they're not playing that kind of music, they tend to hibernate in their house and kept away. What they should be doing is playing all the different genres. Like they got a restaurant, you got all different menu, oxtail, blah, 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 blah. And you might like oxtail, you might want curry goat, you might want callaloo. So your is a thing called diversification. And there wouldn't be such a social divide in the gap because the elders would be mixing would be amalgamating with the youngsters now, and there wouldn't be a generational gap or a void. And it says, and it could rub off. They go both ways, you know, because the youth has bravado and strength, and the elder has wisdom and years of living. And when both of them combine, it's a winning formula there. And that's what causes a social divide, because the mature people not hearing their music. And I told to a DJ in New York, I said, listen, you should play the whole plethora of what Jamaica has to offer. Jamaica's too much of a little small land for you to relegate it to this reggae, man. No. I'm not a proponent of that, because what you're doing, you're saying that Prince Buster and Derek Morgan didn't do nothing. And all that you're promoting evolved from what? Ska music. You see? It's like I coming on the platform, not speaking on behalf of my father. I couldn't do that. I came from his sperm. You got to give the due respect and recognition where it's deserved. Because when the time comes, I want to get mine, so I'm going to give you yours. And a good workman is worthy of his hire. And I spoke to Derek Morgan about that as well. Because they're two, let's face it, they're two or more generations who know nothing about this guy. They think this guy is some kind of foreign music. And when you go to Europe, you see European people telling you about the music. When I was in the Coventry Museum, two-tone museum, a Caucasian man came to me and said, Mr. Ali, whispered in my ears, there are 5 generations in your family. He said to me, Mr. Ali, there are 5 generations in your family. And I turned around and looked at him, and I thought about what he said, and this man was perfectly correct. From my grandfather to me and my son's sons and everything, there are 5 generations. He took time out to study the Busters' genealogy. And we're in a place called Coventry, about 3 hours out of London, Gatwick Airport and everything. So when you go on the international platform, you look really silly because you cannot defend your position. They're teaching you more about your culture. They know more about you know yourself. So that's been embarrassing on an international stage, because there's a generation divide. And then the young people keep the elders more agile, because there's electrons passing back and forth. Remember the 666, you know? 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and 6 electrons makes melanin. That's the real reason, the meaning of the 666, you know? Even though they have distorted it and interpolated it. So the young keep the elder alive, and the elder keep the young ones wise. It takes both sides again, the polarity of life. But there's a gap, there's a social divide, and that's the problem.
Yes, sir. So, words serious, you know. Cause you talk about the 6 neutrons and electrons and neutrons. So we say every man where melanated a walk around now is a walking beast.
No, I wouldn't say beast. That's what comprises of melanin. It's again, you must understand that the enemy has taken your beautiful concept and has corrupted it. It's like you take a young girl and perverted her. She was a young innocent girl and she'd been perverted by some dirty men or whatever. That's what they have done. They have always taken the sacred and distorted. I explained that to you earlier. So one has to know the reality from whence one came. When you understand the root, get to the root, you know. Get to the root. Get to the seed of the whole thing. Not just the branches and everything, because they can kind of thwart you or delude you and everything. But get to the root of the whole thing. You understand? Say everything you see come from us. It's just that the enemy been ruling for 6,000 years and he has thwarted everything. He has flipped the script. That's why Joe Higgs' song said about yes, I said the world is spinning around, and them say I tell you, say the world is upside down. It's really true. It's upside down. Yes is no and no is yes. Right is wrong and wrong is right. Up is down and down is up.
See it.
And now you should question. You should question. Is north really up top, like they told us in school? Is south really at the bottom? These are some critical, analytical questions you must ask yourself now. You know? Because when you become critical analytically, that's when you grow spiritually. Because we've been lied to all our life, and that's why we have no power. It's not just a monetary power, it's a true thing. You got to understand the truth about you. When you're walking in the positive, in the truth, there's a universal force. There's a radiation, there's a force that comes from the universe. When you're one, as above, so is below. And nothing can stop you. Like Brother Bob said, when you're walking in the positive, No, sorry, Stevie Wonder said that. And it's true. But one has to know himself. That's what I tell about 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. That's what the 666 really is. Just like the Schwartz sticker. They flip the Schwartz, that means they call it the chakras. And they see it in Germany. And they don't understand that's the chakras within your being, the energy centers. But they see the Schwartz, they say the chakras on the German shoulders and everything. They have taken your righteous thing and they have flipped it on you. That's why I tell you, there's naked truth chasing a well just lie. And we're into the paradigm shift because everything that's not natural and everything that's been a lie is going to be challenged. It's going to be demystified. Now that I'm saying this, the universal force is doing that right now as we speak. So you should question all things. Half of the story has never been told. Trust me on that one. That's never been told. School and university set up by the enemy will never teach you. The minister always said, if they didn't treat you right, why you think they're going to teach you right? And with all the PhD and master's degree, they still can't solve their problem. Something is wrong. You've been hoodwinked. You pay for something you didn't get. Because you can't free yourself. You never know who you are. When you ask somebody, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a nurse, I'm a this. You are never what you do. Who told you that? You are never what you do. The Europeans told you that, and you bought it wood line and sinker, hook, line, and sinker, because you never question yourself. You are never that. You perform services and duties, but that's not who you are. That's not who the Most High created. Man created that for you, and you bought it. Because you have never been critical, you've never been analytic, you never questioned nothing. School taught you cursive writing from the grade 2. They taught you cursive writing. Look at the word curse and look at the word cursive. There's a lot to be questioned because you've been under this state of negromancy. You don't know yourself. And there'll be a piece of paper where your mind has been taken. Pit you clean.
Yes, I'm necromancy.
Yeah, man. You've been under a spell. That's what I teach you about spelling. You got to develop critical thinking skills and question things because the universal force has no hidden secret. Trust me. Man has something to hide. The universal force is built on nothing but truth, by truth, of truth, and for truth. Everything is congruently matched. Perfect. Like geometry, what you call a right angle side angle. You see? RHS, hypotenuse, and all that stuff like that. Perfectly fixed in the universe. There's no mistake. Man causes stuff. I should say mankind, to be more exact. Because there's a difference between man and mankind.
What is the difference?
Look at the word judges itself. Kind. Are you a man? Are you a man? Are you a man or you're a kind of man?
I am man. I am man.
Okay. Oh, cool. Well, there's always the opposite side. There's one look like you. There's a ish. If you understand prefix and suffixes and everything, when you see the word ish as a suffix, you know, it's a kind of I want to be a Johnny come lately. Somebody masquerading as a facsimile thereof, but it's not the real deal. Kinda. When I'm saying them, kinda. Yeah, it's the same thing. There's one that looks like you, but it's not you. You're the God, you're the king of the earth, but you don't know it yet because you've been sleepwalking. Awaken from your sleeping slumber. That Papa God say, up, ye mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. But first you must be awakened. And be true to yourself. And love yourself. And then you see the truth comes out all the way. And unite.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt.
One entity for a common goal. And don't let the enemy in because he's always dividing and conquer. Trust me. There's always that one link that breaks that chain. That weak link. So one has to be very cognitive of what's happening. Because we're in the age of struggle. But with struggle comes strive. With hardship comes ease. Everything has a polarity. The universal force makes everything in balance. And like my teacher said, my great grandmother, I must give a big shout out, Elsader Brown, my grandfather, Mr. Campbell, And of course, my matriarchal grandmother, Olive Cam, she always said, stay upon crooked and cut straight. Use what you got to get what you want. See? And where there are no vision, people perish. And it's that time.
For real. For real, my general. May I tell you, it was an honor and a pleasure for reason with the eye still. May I have one final question for the eye. Then we're there reason for a while. Yeah, one final question may I have for the eye still. What the eye perspective and you know the whole back to Africa that Marcus Garvey spoke about. You think people in the diaspora, African people in the diaspora, should be making that transition back to Africa?
You mean a physical trip, or
no,
you mean communicate, not doing business?
Leave from the West and go live back in Africa.
Well, I tell you what. I remember I was trying out tour in Los Angeles about 15, 16, 17 years ago. I met a very powerful sister for the first time at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. Her name was Sister Soldier. Are you aware of that woman, that lady?
Yeah,
that sister?
Yeah.
And we had a conversation, talking. I said the same day I met Barry White. He was there as well. And she was telling me that on her way to the motherland, when she was on the plane, the Iron Bird, we call it, and she looked around, she didn't see nobody look like her. She said, oh, they're telling you not to go to Africa, but they are going. Why? Sister Sura told her she was the only one that looks like us that was on the plane. Something is wrong. See? And that's when she started to question things. The plane packed, but she was the only one coming to the motherland. Listen, the globe belongs to us. We are the proper stewards of the whole earth. We are the rightful stewards, the rightful heir to this place. And that's our job. We can go globally, and we can communicate with them, and we can travel back and forth. That's our job. Because remember, Brother Garvey was setting up the Black Star Liner, which was a trading concept from the West to Africa. Because everything you need, the motherland has it. Everything is under that earth. All the minerals, everything you need, the coltan, everything, diamond, you name it. And they found iridium right now in Haiti, and that's a big thing going on in Haiti right now. That's a heat-resistant element right now. That's happening. So you can go backward and forward. It's like having a house in Jamaica and having a house in the States and everything. Because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do.
So
it's our time now. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, there I just mentioned that, and I say, okay, so that's why you have that the conflict, that ongoing conflict in Haiti right now, because of that
iridium.
Yeah. That's the reason why that go on.
Everything is under the landmass there. Everything is there. You name it. Everything you need, we need, the world needs. The motherland has it.
No, I talk about the civil unrest, we are going in Haiti right now, I
know that, because again, that's what it is. Always out of chaos comes order. So I understand what you're saying. It's called iridium. It's a heat resistant they put inside of the spacecraft and everything, and it can resist certain heat and everything. Protection. Because remember, when the mankind goes to the space, his bones get brittle. Our bones get stronger. So they used to line it with magnet. Now they got hip to iridium. You see, we have to be very vigilant, because again, the war is on. There is a struggle, and it's on, and we cannot go to sleep and think everything is hear him, scare him, hunky-dory. No, there is a war, because naked truth chasing a well-dressed lie, and it's time for you to rise and take your rightful position in this earth, because we are the proper stewards to bring peace and tranquility to this planet. That's our job, and only we can do that. No one else can do it.
Natural.
And it's at least the conscious of us can do that. And it's that time. Timing has never been better. Nothing is more powerful than a good idea whose time has come. And they call it the theology of time. And time dictates agenda. So the time has never been oh so right. But one has to have integrity and stay focused to meet that objective mission. And don't sell out. Because there's always a licky one, trust me, who'll take a bribe and try to break that link, break that chain. And it'll take one little weak link to break that chain. Trust me.
Yes, sir.
So one has to be ready. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yes, family. Yeah, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure. You know, reasoning with the eye. The eye say a lot. Zine, and I know the eye could go on and on. We have a whole heap more questions still, but yeah, and I go hold the eye for much longer. Zine, we give thanks for you know what the eye have said so far, what the eye have shared. You know what I mean? So far with I and you know the rest of the world at large. You know, we give thanks, you know, for their presence, for their knowledge, you know, for the information. Yeah, man, we give thanks, you know, having the hype on the platform today. And, you know, we look forward, again in the future, you know what I mean, for having the eye here. This is the eye home, you know what I mean?
God willing. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
God
man.
willing.
The eye is always welcome.
It's at the time to say certain things. And again, I didn't set this up. I didn't plan it because I don't plan things because I know who is the best to plan it. It's not me. There's a higher force in the universe. And when one is aligned with that, when one is cognizant of that, you say it. You see what happened. He make things happen. I mean, the force make things happen that will blow your mind. People just start coming to you out of the woodworks where you least expect it. You know from whence it came. There's a higher unseen force because everything you see comes from what you cannot see. And everything that's on top of the earth, remember, came from the earth.
True. Reality, yeah. Yes, my king. Yeah, man. Well, give thanks and, you know, enjoy the rest of the journey, my lord. Enjoy the rest of the journey that the eye is on. I pray more strength. You know what I mean?
The eye,
and the eye family.
And yeah, man. Peace and blessings to you again. Hopefully next time you can do my next time you'll play my introductory song because it's always Danny, Dane, and Lauren. It's always like a prerequisite prelude to my entrance. Danny, Dane, and Lauren, where my father testified of who I am from 1963. Hopefully next time we can do that as an introductory song. If you check my website, you hear that song. It's in the MP.
Hold on. You know, I don't know what's going on today now. Serious. I don't know.
I send it to your email, Spotlight, our Gmail.
Yeah. I don't know what really going on. What? Yeah, man. True. Which one of the songs? I send me a whole heap of songs, man.
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine.
Okay. Let's see. Rasta. Yeah. Well, give thanks. Yes, so that was the introductory song, right?
As always, testify my father giving credit to who I am. Danny Dane, a beautiful song about the family. My most beautiful, beloved song ever written. It's a part of my repertoire that I perform. With the great Lester Sterling and Charlie organ here. And most of the bigs, Mr. Great Lester, we lost the great Lester Sterling. I recognize some great people, great musician. Remember the Prince Busters All-Star, playing all the great hits of my father and everything. Played with me live on stage. He played in all them great songs, Blackhead Chinaman, Danny Dane and Lorraine, Ron Merman, and I could go on and on and on. The great Lester Sterling is now being buried in Jamaica and everything. They're working it out for the government to work on that. And of course, we lost another great SKA man as well, Lord Creator as well. So I want to say, Whoa! I hear you.
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. These are three people in my life, and your mother will be my wife. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine.
Fire, baby. Fire, fire, baby. Fire, baby.
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. These are three people in my life, and your mother will be my wife. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. I hope someday, their lucky day, things will come their way. And I hope and I pray for that faithful, wonderful day. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine.
Go, Mr. Oh!
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. These are three people in my life, and their mother will be my wife. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine.
And Lorraine, I tell you, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Powerful, powerful.
Blessed love, man. Blessed love, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. 1963. That was all. There's always been my introduction song, even on my website and everything. That it clearly depicts who are the Buster's biological bloodline. Danny, Dale, and Lorraine, Sultan, Kareem, and Safia, and my mother. We are the first royal family of SKA, the first royal family of Jamaican music. Period.
Rastafari.
Because that song came out in 1963. Now, where were you? Ijahstars in 1963.
In the cosmos.
Yes, long time ago. Yeah, man. So, hats off to the world, man, for documenting that song. And that's my most beloved song. I love music, and that's my most beloved. So every time I perform that song, and plus just to perform it with people like Lester Sterling in New York and the great Charlie Organ here in the harmonica. These people are real legends. Legends, foundation people who played in all of the Wailers songs, Simmer Down. You hear that harmonica, you hear that Jerry on the guitar during the introduction. These people are legends who set the foundation of the music. And it was no reggae music, SKA music, the national music without no apology. So I'm here to set the record straight. So thank you for playing that song. That's a beloved song, a family song. And we are the first family of, Cecil Campbell, my mother Blossom Campbell, my name was Donald or Danny Campbell, my brother's name was Donovan Campbell, and my sister's name was Lorraine. And we became the Alis. That's how far we come back, right there in Western Kingston.
Majesty, yeah man.
Peace and blessings.
More love and strength, and thanks again for taking the time.
Yeah man, no problem, man.
Yeah man, manners and respect.
To your listening audience, thank you too. Peace and blessings.
Yes,
Step up, ye mighty world. The time has never been better. I greet you with peace, Scalam and Scaritans. And I want to say to the family of the great Lord Creator, my condolences to Lester Sterling's family, the legend who played that alto saxophone in that song, and of course to the great Lord Creator just passed as well. Condolences to his family as well, another great scam man and everything. So all these legends are gone, so we gotta pay respect. So we respected you. Those people set the foundation of Jamaican music, and they should be respected and they should be recognized. That's what I'm all about. Give respect where respect is due, and give recognition, because a man is worthy of his hire. So I greet you as I came. Scalam and Scaritans. Peace.
Yeah man, manners and respect. Salam. Ja, Rastafari. Yes, yes, honorable family. Yeah, I think that was quite interesting reasoning, great reasoning. Give thanks to the item taking the time, the item patient listening and rapid attention. Zin, we're almost there. 3 hours now. Zin. So the program sealer within the next 2 minutes. So manners and respect again, and give thanks. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with the item to share. Zin, yeah man. So more love, more strength, guidance and protection for the I and the item family. Going out, coming in and going out. Alright, peace and love. Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. It was great to be here. Yeah. And before I go again, let me share this again. Time will rise. Time will open up our third eyes. Full time we start to realize that all this time is telling us one bag of lies, telling us of a God in the sky that for you and I he die. Gentle Jesus, so meek and mild, these things they taught us from we were a child. False indoctrinating the innocent mind. Mind control is the signs of the time. Android, cyborg, AI, all these things combined. This might sound like a rhyme, but evidence reality is under no disguise. Time will rise.
Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. Smash that See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that